Throughout this year, till this November, how many counter-terrorism operations across Pakistan were conducted by Pakistani security forces?
Ever since Afghan Taliban took power in Kabul in August 4 years ago, there's a significant increase in terrorist attacks inside Pakistan from Afghan territory. More than 67,000 intelligence-based operations have been carried out across Pakistan only this year, 2025. The support, the hospitality, the facilitation that TTP is receiving from the current Kabul administration is a reflection of the irresponsible behavior of the interim government of Afghanistan. Two more things which Pakistan has recently carried out is a greater surge and intensity and successes in its counterterrorism operations against these terrorists inside Pakistan, and also the accelerated repatriation of illegal Afghans back home. Till November 2025, so far, Pakistan has sent back more than 1.79 million illegal Afghans back home.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to program Insight in B News English. Dear viewers, 2025 Pakistan has witnessed high wave of terrorism. Two provinces remain highly affected. One, Pakistan's KP province, and the other province was Balochistan. So in today's conversation, we will discuss that November, which is about to end, and after December, the year will be ending. Throughout 2025, how many counter-terrorism operations were conducted across Pakistan? And in these counter-terrorism operations, what strategy was adopted by security and intelligence agencies? How many casualties were reported of both the terrorist and martyrdom of security forces? How many security forces, officers, jawans, including civilian law enforcement agencies, also embrace martyrdom? And in addition to this, we will also discuss some of the high-profile terrorism incidents in Pakistan. Their linkages with Afghanistan were established. And another latest development, Pakistan strongly refuted Afghan Taliban's allegations of carrying out airstrikes inside Afghanistan. So to discuss this all and related issues, we are fortunate to have with us Senior Strategic Affairs Analyst, Dr. Syed Muhammad Ali Saab. Dr. Muhammad Ali Saab, very warm welcome to program Insight in B News English.
Thank you for having me on your show, Mateen Saab.
So, Dr. Saab, this November is almost ending. And after December, the year will pass. So, and as I said in the beginning, Pakistan has witnessed high wave of terrorism. I would like to get information and your analysis that throughout this year, till this November, how many counter-terrorism operations across Pakistan were conducted by Pakistani security forces? And what strategy they really adopted in countering terrorism? When we say countering terrorism, mainly focused on internal security and border operations.
Thank you for inviting me on your show, Mateen Saab.
It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Mateen Saab, I think this year has been particularly very intense for Pakistan in terms of the number of terror incidents, and also the search that Pakistani armed forces, intelligence agencies, and law enforcement agencies have carried out in response to these activities. But in order to first contextualize this phenomena, it is important to recall that ever since Afghan Taliban took power in Kabul in August 4 years ago, there's a significant increase in terrorist attacks inside Pakistan from Afghan territory. And that vindicates Pakistan's concern from the Afghan government that it is unwilling and incapable of cracking down and reining in those terrorists which are using Afghan territory against Pakistan in these attacks. But more specifically, this year, 2025, has been the most intense in terms of terror incidents and also the intelligence-based operations of Pakistan's law enforcement agencies, intelligence organizations, as well as Pakistani armed forces. This year, only the KP province, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, has witnessed 264 terrorist incidents, whereas Balochistan has faced 88 terrorist incidents. And in comparison to these two provinces, the rest of Pakistan has witnessed only 4 terrorist incidents. So these numbers indicate that the most of terrorist incidents have taken place in KPK, whereas Balochistan is the second in number, whereas the rest of the country is significantly safe in terms of terrorism threat. But when you look at the operations carried out by Pakistani law enforcement agencies, intelligence organizations, and military, which are called intelligence-based operations or IBOs, I think this year has been very busy for them. Almost 233 operations are carried out every day this year. And the total number of intelligence-based operation across Pakistan exceed 67,000. More than 67,000 intelligence-based operations have been carried out across Pakistan only this year, 2025. And in these 67,000 intelligence-based operations, 53,000 intelligence-based operations have been carried out in Balochistan, 12,857 intelligence-based operations in KPK, whereas the rest of Pakistan has witnessed 857 intelligence-based operations. So here you can clearly see that the lion's share of Pakistan's city effort have gone down in Balochistan. And there is greater support from the civilian law enforcement agencies and the political leadership in Balochistan, in contrast to KPK as well. And the total number of terrorists which have been eliminated during this year are 1,873. So this year, 1,873 terrorists have been eliminated. And among these 1,873 terrorists, 136 of these terrorists were Afghan nationals who have been killed in these counterterrorism efforts. And as part of these efforts and operations, 607 officers, soldiers, and officials have embraced martyrdom as part of these intelligence-based operations. So I wanted to share some of this basic information with you. But initially, it indicates 3 things. Number one, the number of terrorist incidents have increased this year. Secondly, the effort and the number of intelligence-based operations indicate that Pakistan's level of readiness and commitment in terms of city operation is also exceptional, far beyond the previous years. And the third factor is also very significant, that the number of intelligence-based operations are heaviest and most extensive in Balochistan. But the terror incidents seem to be increasing in KPK. But the military establishment of Pakistan is appreciative of the support by law enforcement agencies and civilian leadership in Balochistan province, whereas they are not happy with the lack of support from the KPK's provincial government.
So this is quite alarming figure we have seen, and this shows that the tide of the terrorism is quite high. And as you mentioned, security forces of Pakistan are quite determined in eliminating, neutralizing these all terrorists. I would like to especially ask you, since you have given a figure that among the killed terrorists, a significant number of killed terrorists were Afghans. And these Afghans have been sent from Afghanistan by banned TTP with the support of Tehrik-e-Taliban of Afghanistan. So, do you see any difference between TTP and Afghan Taliban? What is the difference, and why they have not paid any attention since the collapse of Istanbul talks? Again, we haven't seen any firm response from Afghan Taliban towards these militants.
I think it's a very important question. But the lack of progress in the last 3 rounds of talks with the Afghan interim government, and also the increase in the intensity and lethality of attacks from Afghan soil inside Pakistan proves that practically TTP is the Pakistan chapter of Afghan Taliban. And there is no difference in any way.
Okay.
Yes. And instead of reining them in or discouraging them or cracking down against TTP, the support, the facilitation provided to TTP is exceptional. And recent report by the Danish diplomat at the UN Security Council also indicates that TTP is no longer seen as a Pakistan-specific terrorist organization, but it is receiving concern around the world. Earlier, UN report also mentioned that TTP has links with global terrorist organizations like Al-Qaeda and Daesh, and their target may not be limited to Pakistan in future. So the international concern towards TTP is growing beyond Pakistan. And therefore, the support, the hospitality, the facilitation that TTP is receiving from the current Kabul administration is a reflection of the irresponsible behavior of the interim government of Afghanistan. Also, it is very important to point out that in most such incidents in which TTP has been involved in carrying out attacks inside Pakistan, they have been found using very high-tech Western origin weaponry like M16 rifles, like M4 carbines, which was left by the ISAF forces during their presence in Afghanistan. And according to SIGAR report, this military equipment is worth more than $7.2 billion, which is now freely available to TTP and BLA. And being provided and shared by Afghan Taliban for carrying out these terrorist attacks inside Pakistan. I think Pakistan has shared compelling evidences and proofs of TTP's presence, support, facilitation, accommodation inside Afghanistan. But the Kabul administration, unfortunately, has not lived up to its own international, legal, and diplomatic obligation of ensuring that its territory is not used for terrorist activities against anybody, including Pakistan. Secondly, I think two more things which Pakistan has recently carried out is a greater surge and intensity and successes in its counterterrorism operations against these terrorists inside Pakistan, and also the accelerated repatriation of illegal Afghans back home. And through you, I want to share with you some latest information regarding that as well. That till November 2025, so far, Pakistan has sent back more than 1.79 million illegal Afghans back home. So almost 1.8 million Afghans have returned from Pakistan,
I have a question on
according to
this. I
military
have a question
sources,
on this.
till November this year.
I have a question on this. Since a very large number of these Afghans have been repatriated honorably back to Afghanistan, and still Pakistan is hosting a very large number, why Afghanistan is insensitive to this fact that Pakistan has been hosting these millions of Afghans since last 40 years? And some of even Afghan's top leaders, they have got education, medical treatment. They have been living in Pakistan. So, despite the fact that Pakistan hosted them generously, but the attitude from Kabul administration is quite indifferent. Why it has been so?
I think my personal view and assessment, Mateen Saab, is that those people who decided to host Afghans without legal documentation and verifiable lawful behavior inside Pakistan harmed Pakistan's interest. And it was a mistake to host Afghans in a manner that they were allowed to be resident in Pakistan without any legal obligation, without any evidence that they will only engage in lawful, peaceful activities. And there was no mechanism in place to ensure that they remain peaceful, law-abiding visitors. And the fact that for more than 4 decades, they openly flaunted our hospitality is definitely tragic. But it does not absolve those individuals who fail to ensure that Afghan visitors are part of a visa regime. And there should have been a mechanism to ensure that their militant activities inside Pakistan were discouraged and reduced. And they were, they were allowed to stay in a manner their criminal activities could have been prevented. So I think it's a long overdue policy correction by the current government of Pakistan. And Pakistan is suffering from the blunders and oversight based on naivety that we, have nothing against peaceful, law-abiding Afghan citizens. But the lack of an effective mechanism, a lack of an effective visa regime allowed a lot of criminal and terrorist elements from Afghan soil to exploit our goodwill. Now, that is something which no law-abiding, peaceful country in the world can allow. So I think it's a long overdue policy correction that anybody who is part of black economy, drugs trade, or any smuggling racket, or sympathizer, supporter, facilitator of any terrorist organization must be sent back. And that's why Pakistan also demanded if there are any Pakistani individuals or citizens in Afghanistan, then they should also be repatriated just like that, so that they can be brought to justice according to Pakistan's law of the land. And we expect nothing less from the Afghan government. If there are any Afghan citizens who have indulged in criminal activity in Pakistan, they should be brought to justice in Afghanistan as well.
Dr. Saab, I would like to seek your strategic analysis. On Sunday, the Frontier Constabulary headquarters in Peshawar, capital of KP province, came under suicide attack. Although the attackers were neutralized, but at the same time, those who were protecting the headquarters, security forces, Jawans, embraced martyrdom. And again in this attack, the linkages were found in Afghanistan. And I would like to quickly have your opinion. In today, more information was shared about the terrorist attack of Islamabad, that handlers, that attackers, that planners of Islamabad terrorist attack and one cadet college attack, they all were Afghans.
Yes, I think I agree with you that according to military sources, those who were involved in planning, those who were involved in facilitating, and those who were involved in directly conducting these terrorist attacks, both in Islamabad court and also in the FC headquarters in Peshawar, were Afghan nationals. But according to most recent information, these terrorists entered Pakistan via Tira Valley. And the attackers of APS attack way back in 2014 also used Tira Valley. So it seems that the crime terrorist nexus in Tira Valley is again becoming a source of serious national security concern for Pakistan. Because according to military sources, there is a very strong nexus between the political economy of TTP and the revenue that they generate from drugs production in Tira Valley. A number of counterterrorism operations have earlier successfully been launched in Tira Valley over the years. But it is unfortunate that those gains were not translated into enduring peace and stability by the civilian administration. And according to recent estimates, around 12,000 acres of Tira Valley land is used for drugs cultivation. And the TTP provides security to these crops of opium. And in return, they receive 10% of usher income, according to their interpretation of Islamic law, which amounts to almost 3 billion rupees. So TTP earns around 3 billion rupees of usher income from the farmers of drug cultivation, which is carrying on in Tira Valley. So I think it's about time that the political government of KPK realizes that in order to sustainably eliminate terrorism from Pakistan and KPK, it is very important that the financial support base of TTP, which is being provided by the poppy growers in Tira Valley, needs to be eradicated so that their financial support is reduced and their ability to buy arms and finance their terrorist activities is also reduced.
I would like to get your last one sentence, a very crisp Pakistan's future strategy, a roadmap to the counterterrorism. Do you think Pakistani security forces will finally overcome this menace of terrorism?
I think in order for the Pakistani state to successfully and completely eliminate terrorism, it cannot do that only by intelligence-based operations or only by Pakistani armed forces carrying out these counterterrorism operations. Uh, because the effects that the military generates are quite striking but temporary. It is very important that in order to translate these military gains in the counterterrorism domain for enduring stability, peace, and progress of these areas, the local administration, the civilian law enforcement agencies, police have a major role to ensure that the environment is transformed so that the sources of funding, facilitation, support for these terrorist organizations are also reduced. And the psychological and social ecosystem completely becomes inhabitable for these terrorist organizations. Once the economic, social, and psychological support within the civilian domain sort of eliminates, the support for terrorism, I'm sure with the help of Pakistani nation, civilian law enforcement agencies, Pakistani intelligence and military will be able to ensure that these terrorists are not just defeated, but completely eliminated.
Indeed, the support from the nation in fight against terrorism is extremely important for its success. Thank you so much indeed, Dr. Syed Muhammad Ali Saab. Despite your very busy schedule today, you spared time and participated in our program Insight in V News English. And dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.